All right, let's go in here. There we are. And let me turn my screen off. All right, y'all. And I feel like my light is kind of way to the right of me, so now I have this huge shadow on my other side. I try really hard to bring it straight on, but whatever. We'll deal with it. Okay. Don't forget not to rush. Okay. Miss Laura told me last time I went too fast, so we're going to try and go slow. All right, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. Is everybody ready? All right, let me find my screen here. I'm going to bump this up just a little bit so I can see all my... All right, so here you see all my colors. I got them laid out. Now I know how the pattern's going to go, so I kind of have mine laid out. This particular pattern, am I back on? Did I come back on okay? Ooh, yay. Yes. Good. New needle is important. New needle, make sure you got a full bobbin, which I have to be honest, I'm not sure how much bobbin is in there, but I haven't done a lot of sewing this week, which if you see the project underneath the hearts behind me, or did notice it, I haven't gotten very far. I think I only put two of the small blocks together this week, and that was just because I happened to be back here for a few minutes. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm going to slide this over just a little bit. We're going to take the smallest red block and that one little background piece. Now, I will say that I have a variation on this and I will show you at the end. But right now, this is how we're going to do it, exactly how the instructions are laid out here. And I'm not exactly sure why I did the instructions like this, but I guess we'll figure it out. I got to replace the bobbin. Whoops. Oh, ain't that the truth? I swear. Sometimes I get so lucky I come down to about 4 inches left. And even that's not good because you don't have a good tension when you're playing around with just the very last of that thread as it's coming off that bobbin. It doesn't give you good tension. But that's neither here nor there for what we're doing right now. So basically, the way I have it laid out right here is exactly how you're going to sew it together. This is number 1 in the red or the, hang on, the H color. And I don't have my other paper with me. Let me see if I have it over here. All right, I don't have it here either. I like to keep the top sheet with me only because I can reference it for the color letters. And I left it on my cutting table, which is in a different spot. If y'all have been in my house, you see my sewing room. I have a place where I sew and I have a place where I cut, which I shouldn't. I should have it all. It would be nice if it was all in one spot, but I guess this is as one spot as it's going to get. Okay, so yes, so an H, which is the red, and then your K, which is your background. Okay? All right, so we are going to sew those together. We're just going to flip them over, line them up. And what I like to do is when I line it up down here, I also look here and make sure it's going on straight. Because sometimes when you line this up, it can get a little crooked, and you don't want it to be crooked. You want it to try to be as straight as possible, even if that means you sacrifice just a little bit on this edge. If you have to sacrifice on this edge, just make it a scant 1/4 of an inch. I've seen some, I have one quilt that's sewn on like 1/8 of an inch. How the heck did she do that? I can't do that, y'all. I just can't. All right, so let me get us over to the needle plate. Dun, dun, dun. Get my remote out of the way because I watch a lot of TV. Actually, I listen to TV. And my newest listen, because I think I've watched every single video out there, it feels like, on quilting. So now I listen to this guy who plays video games. His name is Booster. And he has this really cool accent. And so I listen to him and his friends play video games. Now, I have to tell y'all a secret. I used to be a bit of a gamer. And that's using that term very, very loosely because I was not very good at it. In fact, my kids would like groan when I would play multiplayer with them because I was so horrible at it that they would be, you know, on to another screen, but they'd have to wait for me because I was so stinking slow. All right, let's come back up here. All right, so you saw me. Oh, and it went cold, y'all. We're gonna have to wait just a second for that. Anyways, my kids, they're so funny. They would be all kinds of upset with me. Come on, Mom, you're taking too long. You're slow. My son, I played one of those like Call of Duty things with him one time. There was some, you know, where you picked up sticks and made a fort and did all kinds of stuff. I was playing that with him. That wasn't that long ago. He's like, Mom, you're killing me. You're killing me. You're just so slow. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. It's been a few years. But my favorite games were like scary ones. I love scary ones, like Silent Hill. Of course, I was a big scary movie person. That was my thing. I think I had all the Silent Hills, Tomb Raiders. I had it all. All right, so our next piece we're going to take the yellow one, and we're going to put it at the bottom. And I'm going to iron that piece. I thought I ironed all my pieces last night, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I only ironed the ones I was working with. And we're going to put it right underneath here. So this is the yellow one, yellow is E. So we're going to take the E, the yellow. Oh, we got 14 people on now. All right, now I had 9. Now I have 13, 14. Y'all say hello so I know who you are. And we're going to flip it from the bottom. We're going to flip it up just like that. And again, if you cut your pieces straight and you got your 1/4 inch seam, these should match up. If they don't, it's all right. We can figure it out later. If you're coming up where this part is a little bit short, you know, kind of narrow, then your seam is too big. If you're coming up where this part is too big, too long, then your seam allowance is too short. Unless you just cut it wrong. That's possible too. If you got just a little bit, don't worry about it. It don't need to be perfect. Because I don't know if you can tell, but I still have a little bit over here that's coming out. So we're going to take this over here, and we're going to put it together. So if your yellow is up, if what you see underneath your needle is the yellow is up, you need to be on the right side with the red at the top. Right side with the red at the top. Because sometimes, you know, you can get these things turned around. Now, I usually do my check block because I like to check it. 1, it refreshes my memory on how it goes together, and 2, I like to make sure that my numbers are right, that my measurements are correct. Ooh, May's up. May's awake. I hear May. She's probably been in there playing on her tablet. Okay, and then I'm just going to run try not to pull too hard because you don't want to stretch it out. Oh, nice. You know, I love being on the TV. It's nice. Kelly was telling me I'm on twice, one for my TV and one for my chat. I actually have it up in about 3 different spots. One is on my tablet, one is on my second monitor, and then I have it on my OBS, which is the software I use to do this. Okay, let me make sure I got this up here. There we go. All right, and my nose. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so let's give that a nice little iron. Hey. All right, So your piece right now currently should look like this. And now we're going to put on another piece. How am I doing, Miss Laura? Am I going slow enough? Hey, Miss Tina, glad you made it. We are so happy to see you on here. Anybody else on here? I see Kelly got on, but didn't Kelly? Maybe I only thought I saw Kelly earlier. All right, so our next piece is going to go on the end. It's going to go just like this. Anybody see that log cabin pattern there? So we're just building one piece on another one. We're actually going to do this in 2 sections. Excuse me. So sorry. I hope you didn't hear that. We're basically going to do 2 sections, and then we're going to put the 2 sections together. All right, and we're going to turn that. Okay, and again, we're going to be using the dark red piece, another dark red piece, which is number H, or letter H, dark red, and we're going to be adding it to the end where the red is at. And again, just line it up. Get it kind of close. If it's a little bit short, a little bit long, we just get it in there. Okay, and we could pin it if you needed to. Pinning sometimes is nice, or you can use a clip. Somebody asked me the other day if I use clips, and not probably as often as I should. See, that's a clip there. And I keep clips and pins around, so you can use either. All right, Miss Laura says I'm doing good. I'm going to slide that down there and go ahead and get started. I know a lot of people make short work of those clips. They can just like push it down. And I don't know if mine are just tighter or what, but I definitely find myself struggling trying to get those off because they want to pop up from underneath my finger. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I did it. I'll do it again. I don't mind stitching it again because I don't plan on ripping it out. So here's what we did. We just stitched it right down that edge. Okay. Now if I have to rip this one out, I'm going to be in a little bit of a hurting shape because once you put a double seam on there, that thing don't like to come out at all. And I mean at all. All right, let's come back here. Flip that over. Now, if y'all don't really like using the iron or your fingernail, whatever, you do it however works for you. But I do this because I feel like it doesn't distort that seam and create that bow in the center. Because sometimes when you do this, it pushes that seam really hard and it creates like a bow in there. So I like it like that. Okay, so we're going to come back here like this, and then our very next piece is going to be our lavender. It's going to fit right there. And the lavender is letter C. C and lavender, or light purple. To me, it looks like lavender, but it's also light purple, so because it's based on a light dark theme in the log cabin. So we're going to take that and we're going to flip that up. And if you were to clip it or pin it, this will help you also recognize which side you're supposed to be stitching. So we'll try some clips. Because like I said, I do use clips and then sometimes I don't. All right. Everybody following along okay? Okay. And don't be in a hurry to get those seams done. Take your time. Just because your machine can go fast doesn't mean it has to. See how, as I'm going, I'm pulling my seam, trying to get those clips off. Maybe I just lost a little dexterity with my fingers, who knows. Then we're going to flip it out. Start to get my little pointy thing stuck underneath here. Okay. All right, now we can iron that piece down. I know last night when I put this block together, it went together very, very quickly. Um, so hopefully we won't have to take a long time. Okay. Can anybody guess what's next? Well, if you guess the red one, you would be correct. We're going to go back to the dark red, which is H, and we're going to put it on the end just like this. Okay? Flip it over. And again, you can either pin it. My poor pins. Y'all, it's time for some new pins. I don't know if you can see this, but they're pretty good and bent. You can bend them back, but y'all know once something gets bent or broke, it's never the same. All right, so make sure I'm on there good. Another one. I'm terrible with my pins. It's time to buy new ones. I never realized I would ever have to buy more pins. I was kind of like seam rippers. I had no idea I was going to have to buy another seam ripper. But I have actually gone through a few seam rippers. I don't know, is that a bad thing or good thing? I don't know if leaving the needle down is such a good idea. But my machine is in the down position, so I just leave it there. You just want to make sure that before you try to take your bobbin out, you pull needle up. Because I have done it the other way and that's not so good. Okay, we're going to give that a quick iron. So now what you want to watch is, notice how it's starting to curve this way. We want to watch out for that. Because I definitely had room. I could have moved that up. Okay. Now, let's see. We have one more piece to put on here, and that is going to be the dark purple, or the color B, and it's going to go on the bottom. Now, once we finish this piece, we're going to set this off and start the next. Okay? Now, I actually could not find a piece of this fabric, of this particular brand of fabric, for the purple. I don't know what I've done with my spare. So I just grabbed another purple out of there. No biggie. No biggie. Does anybody know why a pin will get bent like that? And I know we'll be telling on ourselves, but who knows why a pin would get a bend in the center of a pin? Dun, dun, dun. Audience participation. What's up? Yes. His room. You're right. You're absolutely right, Miss Laura. Too much pressure. Too much pressure, that's my mind, not my needles. But yes, you're definitely from too much pressure, hitting it with the needle. So far I've got 2 people who said hitting it with the needle. Anybody else want to chime in? And I will tell you how I managed to bend up most of my most of my pins. All right, so this first section is complete. We are done. We're going to move that one out of the way and start. Ooh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I did it again. I'm so sorry. Here, let me pull it up. Okay. There. It's ironed. It's ironed. It looks beautiful. And we're going to be, I wish I had a second person help me with this and they just keep switching it back and forth for me, but I admit I'm the only one. I've tried to hire my daughter, but she doesn't want to do it. It's okay, I understand. Okay. Force them through multiple layers of fabric. That's true too. I have definitely done it that way. I've done it with trying to get it through while I'm working on something. I'm trying to hold it, but it's really tight, and then when you try to put it in there, you're trying to pull it up like this, trying to take the needle. Oh, there's almost a straight one. And you're trying to pull it up like this, and it's bending, especially because I like the small, thin ones. I find they work best for me when I'm quilting. And but most of the time, most of my needles, pins, and I will admit to it, get bent because I accidentally or purposely run over them with my needle. And most of my stitches are usually pretty long. I use instead of a 2.5 like most people, I usually use about a 3. And I still manage to hit them every once in a while. All right, so the very next piece we're going to work on is the white piece. Go ahead, we're going to come over here and grab the short white piece, the shortest white piece. Now, you remember we talked the other day about using the black light to find the right and wrong side of the fabric. I sure wish I had one with this because it is hard, I tell you, to find it. All right, so we're going to take a white piece and we're going to take a red piece. They just didn't look the same. It looks funny because of the way it's cut, I guess. So we're going to take a white piece and a red piece. We're going to do our stitching right through here. And we're going to flip it up. Grab my 2 pins. Tossing it on myself. Pin this one here and this one here. All right, y'all. And now that we know where to put it, making sure that we're stitching on the correct side. Sometimes I get this thread caught, and when I do, it starts pulling up my fabric, so I just want to make sure it's out there behind. Get this off of here. Guide my fabric through there. Get my thread out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and flip this over towards the darker color, which is actually the lighter red color. Light red color? Light red color. Yeah, you're using the light red. In fact, I don't think you have any more dark red to use. Everything should be the light red from this point on. Okay. You know, Miss Sheila, I know Miss Claudine, I was trying to find her because I saw her going into she's going into the private group on the Manatee page. She's not coming into my SRQ. And I tried to find her, but I can't find her. So let me try real quick one more time. Let's see if there's a way to invite her in. Yeah, it's not letting me. If anybody has a way of inviting them in, can you please, please, please invite them in? I'm having a hard time. Since I'm using different colors, I don't know what letters white are. Okay, the white is the A color, and the light red is the I. So A and I. And A is going to be on the top, and I is going to be the second color. Okay? I'm sorry. I was trying to make sure I used the letter and the color at the same time. So A and I. Link live chat top comments more like this. I was trying to see if I had a way to invite. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Anyways, if somebody could reach out to Miss Claudine and get her on here, help her get on there, that would be great. Okay, so the next color we're going to put on is the blue color. Now the blue in this one is going to be the dark blue, which is J. J, A, and I. Okay, J, A, and I. I'm just trying to make sure I get this straight because I have to look at my cheat sheet. And we're going to flip this over. But yeah, I saw Miss Claudine. She was it posted on to the private page. She was on the Manti Patchworkers private page, and I didn't know. I mean, I tried to go in and find them to see where she was at, but it didn't show. So either they didn't actually post something in there, or I don't know. I don't have an answer, but I think she's just on the wrong page. And I don't have any way to invite her, which is irritating. Why can't I invite somebody in here? Let me take a look. Let me just take a look here. Moderation comments. Tag her. It's not allowing me to, well, I don't know. Let me see. Insert an emoji. Comment with an avatar. Comment with a sticker. No, I'm not. Yeah, can somebody else tag her? I don't know why it does not allow me. Like, I should be able to type in her name, and it should pop up, but it's not letting me. And I'm afraid to do too much right now because I'm afraid one time I did that, I actually turned us off, and I don't want to do that either. So I'm going to, hopefully somebody can help them get in here. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to spend too much time on this. But yes, if somebody else can tag them and make sure they get in here, that would be so helpful. And I will try to spend extra time next time trying to make sure that they know exactly where I am. But I know with all the different pages that I'm on, like the Patchworkers page and stuff like that, it can be difficult to keep track of where they need to be. I'll try to improve. Oh, thank you guys. I'll try to improve on getting us you know, being able to notify you earlier um, of where to go. And don't forget, you can turn on notifications as well, so that when something new pops up, you can automatically see it. Okay. Now, after you're done with this block, I know when I did the first block, I did it with other colors, with a whole different theme, and you'll see that soon. But when you're done with this, if you feel like you want to do a second block, maybe after looking at it, there's you think if you can do a different color in a different place, don't hesitate. You should have, with using a half a yard of fabric, you should have plenty left over to be able to do that. Okay, so we're going to take the last A color, and remember I told you you're only going to use A 2 times. This is it. This is where you're using that A, that last A. So we're going to flip it over, and I like to say this one is a no-brainer. Since you can't really stitch from this side, you know that you're going to be stitching on this side. But I'm going to pin it anyways. Okay. I'm just going to check and make sure that it's lining up. Okay, snip, 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 snip. Has anybody found Miss Claudine and usually Miss Claudine and Miss Jerry are together. Anybody found them yet by chance? Oh, y'all. I can't tell if I got the right one, the right side up. Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's right side up. Okay. Oh, I definitely need to. I think if I can find those little flashlights, I'm going to carry them in my store, so that everybody else who needs one can also get theirs. This fabric, this white fabric is so fragile. It's very thin. But that's why ironing it down is probably a really good idea. So we've got it. And I'm going to kind of slide it a little bit just because it seems to want to bunch up. So we're going to try to make sure it's nice and crisp. Okay. So how are we looking so far? All right, you may have guessed the next piece, look at how it's bowed up in there. The next piece we're going to do is going to be the light red, which is where's my cheat sheet at? Light red, I. We're going to put I right on the bottom of A. So we're going to put light red on the bottom of the white. We're going to flip it over. And give it a quick pin. Can you tell from a galloping horse? That's Miss Laura. I love these things. You guys just crack me up. Excellent. I see Miss Sharon. Hey, Miss Sharon, it's good to see you on. I sent you an email. You got an invoice from SRQ Quilters. I just don't know if you saw it. I sent it this last week, like around Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Oh, God, sorry, guys. That's what I get for talking in the middle of this. Okay, so we stitched it down. And then we're going to flip it over. I'm not even going to tell you how old this fabric is. I got this as a flat fold from my wholesaler before they were actually my wholesaler. I know that's probably kind of a mystery right there. But so I got like, I don't know, 10, 11 bolts of fabric, but they were only like, I don't know, maybe 5 to 6 yards each. But that was perfect. And of course the price was right too, so. All right, so we got that next part on. And let's see what piece is next. Oh, so that was piece number 12, and we are up to putting on the second piece. Now, I bet you can tell what that is. I know you can tell what that is. And here's the bottom half. Now, we're going to take the top half that we just finished. We're going to take this one, which is light red, and we're going to flip it over onto the bottom half that has that background fabric on it. Okay? Because that one right there is the background fabric, and this one right here is the dark red, which is letter H. Okay? All right. And again, you want to try to make sure it's as straight as possible. And by now, you're probably a little bit wonky here and there. Just get it as straight as you can. We can make up the difference on the last two pieces. And yes, we are coming down to the last two pieces. And I will make sure that Miss Claudine sees where she can get to the video from Facebook or YouTube. I don't know, I like to straighten that out a little bit. And yes, I have it kind of like edged over, but if you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but over here on this side, I have a little bit on this side as well. So I'm just going to kind of be liberal here. That's where my stupid thread gets caught. And I'm going to keep going straight. And I'm going to bring my foot up this time. My needle, I mean. Okay. All right. Now you can flip it over either way, but I find that the path of least resistance at this point is better. Since we have all these seams, we're going to flip it up this way. All right, so how's everybody's block coming out now? What are you thinking so far? I can't wait to see them. You guys are doing an amazing job on these blocks. They're just gorgeous. I think so far the heart is my favorite one. In fact, I have it. I have the heart one for a project I've been working on in embroidery, and I'm kind of excited about it. Okay. So we may actually be. Let's just flip this up a little bit and measure it. And slightly over, just slightly over 12 and a half inches. That's okay. We can always trim it off. We can trim it off wherever you want to. In fact, I could probably trim it off right off this purple here, and I will probably do that. So what I'm going to do is, okay, this piece is going to go on this side. It's going to finish off over here, and this piece is going to go over on this side. So I think what I'm going to do is going to wind up taking, wow, that is really a long piece. How did I do that? Anyways, probably going to take it off right here off the bottom. So I'm going to make sure that I start up here at the top and just make sure both pieces are at the top and then just trim it off. Okay, let's get that out of the way. We don't need that. All right, so let's set that right there. We're just going to go ahead and start with the green. And the green goes green, which is the color D. Color D is going to go on the left side. And I'm just going to iron that real quick. And I'll iron my red one as well, since I got my iron over here. So this is D, and this one I believe is H. So D is going to go on the left side, just like this. And I'm going to match up the top piece and not worry about the bottom. It's going to go where it's going to go because I can trim it up. Okay? Everybody copacetic on that? We got it? Interesting. It is interesting, isn't it? It makes you wonder what the heck I was thinking when I put these colors together. And I'll be honest, I don't remember, because that was almost 2 years ago when I did this one. I'm going to give it a little bit of a tug there, just a little bit, and make sure it's straight. In fact, I think I'm going to put one more pin in there. Now you want it to relax. You don't want to necessarily follow that, because as you remember, that edge right there was pretty wonky. It was going in all kinds of directions. So you want to follow it with a straight line. So when we're done sewing it, we're going to look and make sure that we caught all of it in the stitching, in the seam allowance. So let's come on over here. And we're just going to follow that green. Now I feel the seam trying to flip up on me, and all I do is just kind of give it a little bit of room and let it plop back down on its own. And it will plop back down on its own. And it's okay to trim this one because it's not dependent on this particular pattern. So in some of them, because you have points, you have to be careful on how much you take on and leave off. And as you can see, I've just barely got it in there, but it's in there. So we're going to call it golden. And come right across that edge. And I apologize, I see my my camera is so wide angled that it's warping it, and I apologize, but we're doing good so far. We're catching everything. And then we're going to put that last piece on. The last piece is the last H. It's the last H, and it's going to go down the length. You know, even when you're ironing these pieces to put them together, you have to be careful not to iron it crooked. And sometimes we do that just because of the warp or weft of the fabric, and you just have to be careful and make sure it's straight, because I can look at this and see that I have ironed it kind of crooked, which is fine. No biggie. Okay, let's bring this on over here, put our last piece under. Okay, last piece is on. Hallelujah. All right, since it's so big, I'm gonna bring it over here. And we're going to flip it over. And love the way that lighting is turning a little blue, then a little red, then a little blue, and then a little red. It's like kind of funny. Okay. We are that far along. All right, now that we have our whole block together, let's take a quick look here and let's see how we fit. And again, you just want to make sure that it fits in there. And so far so good. Got a little bit on this side. Okay. Take our handy dandy rotary cutter. Trim off. And again, we're not worrying about it because there are no points, so we don't have to worry about cutting off a point somewhere. You just want to try and get it as close to the 12.5 as possible. Yep, okay. Get that out of the way. Perfect, perfect. All right, y'all, there it is. One log cabin flag. Here's your post that the flag is on. There's the flag. Here is the sky, so to speak. This is the color we use for the sky, and then this is the steps. All right, so let me show you. Yes, all right, Miss Sally, got that cord. You know, that's one thing about that the log cabin. You really get a lot of practice working on that 1/4 inch. And I feel the same way about my 1/4 inch. All right, so here's the one I did last night. And I did my background all the way across, starting here and going all the way across. And this is where I changed it slightly. All right. And then I had my steps and my flagpole. Now, I did my blue for here, and there's my white. Well, the A and the I, A-I, right? Pretty sure that was I, light red. Yes. So there was my A, there was my I, and this was my dark blue, which was my B. Nope, that's dark purple. Dark blue was J, so this was my J. And so there's my flag, there's my pole, and there's the background. So instead of just having one background piece, I just went ahead and did all 4 of these in a background color. Again, I don't remember why. I mean, I think I was just trying to use up the colors and put the colors into there. But anyways, after I looked at it, I was like, you know, I wonder. And so I changed it. This is where I changed it. I just did all background color here instead of changing it into the dark red. And then I did 3 different colors here. So what do you think? I don't know, maybe later on I would have liked to added a different color in here. Like, since we only have a little bit of white here, could have done maybe some pole colors, like a wood grain kind of color here. But I was trying to stay true to just the colors that we had picked out for this. Different. Sally says different. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Not too sure, Miss Laura says. All right. Well, again, not that this isn't one of my favorites, but definitely the heart was my absolute favorite so far. I absolutely love it, and I love the way it turned out, and the hearts would make an absolutely fabulous, fabulous quilt to take further. You know, by just making a bunch of different heart blocks. You can do it in different colors. You can change which side is dark and which side is light or red and blue or whichever. And you can add all kinds of different colors into it to give it another look. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts, ladies. I love you guys. Lots of colors will work. I think so too. I think so too. And I enjoy playing with it and seeing what else I could do with it. And I'm a big bee person. I love the bees, even though I'm actually allergic to bees. I'm I'm a big bee person, so I love the bees. And so that's why I've enjoyed playing around with that secondary block that I work on to make sure all the blocks are correct. And I love some of these fabrics. Anyways, all right. Exactly. Miss Claudine Carson, where are you? What happened? I'll have to get with her this week. Which reminds me, I have an embroidery class coming up this next Saturday at Miss Claudine's. We're going to be making stockings. We're going to be embroidering a stocking for Christmas. It is actually going to be my own design. If something happens that I can't work out the kinks on it, I will have a Sweet Pea design all ready for us, and I will personally purchase each one a stocking design from Sweet Pea if I can't get mine ironed out before then. So don't worry. I'm excited. I hope I've already got one person signed up, and all you have to do is let me know you're going to be there, and I will send you the information on it. But if you tell me you're going to be there, then you are committed. And by that, I mean you have to go ahead and pay for it anyways, because there's only 6 or 7 slots available. And if it fills up and nobody else can sign up, then, it's bad for them. But I got a certain number I really need to have to make it worthwhile. Yes, Miss Sally, you have to bring your own machine, because I actually only have 2. And I rent one of them out. And the other one is generally used for, actually, you know what? I think this time I would have 2 machines I could rent out. And I only rent them for $10. They're $10 a person to rent out one of my machines. I have a smaller one, and I have the larger one. I have a Luminaire, and I have a Brother smaller one. So one of them is like I want to say a 6x10 hoop, and the bigger one can do up to a 9x14 hoop. And these stockings are going to be... we're probably going to use the 8x12 hoop. The cost is $40 unless you rent the machine, and then it's $50. And like I said, I only have 2 machines. Time, yes. We start set up at 9 o'clock, we start at 10, and we go till 5 o'clock with a lunch break in between. And the lunch break is based on you bringing your own food and eating there, or we take a break and we go get something and bring it back, or some of us have actually gone out and had lunch and then come back. But you can do it any way you want to do it. And it is at Miss Claudine's house, which is on Lockwood Ridge. And like I said, I've got all the information. I can send it to you if you're interested. I do have people already signing up, and I apologize. It is next Saturday. I usually give you at least 2 or 3 weeks, but I had a lot going on, especially with being sick. 1/4-inch seams, not 12 and a half. Miss Laura, we got to figure out something, because, yeah. At 1/4 of an inch, you should have been at slightly 12 and a half, or a little bit, just slightly larger. So there's something going on there. But listen, if your blocks need to be trimmed down to a little bit smaller, it is no big deal. That it will still work, I promise you, okay? Don't worry about it. All right, Miss Sally, I will send you the information and put you on the list. I know. Okay, Miss Laura. All right. But I will say that this log cabin block, because of how many seams are in one block, you really do get a lot of practice in working on those 1/4-inch seams. And again, oftentimes it's just because of where our needle is set, or where the edge is in comparison to where the needle is. So you just do what you got to do to make it work the best you can, and then we'll work it from there. Anyways, all right, anybody else would like to reserve a spot for the embroidery class this next Saturday? Just give me a holler, send me a message, give me a call. Most of you at least have one of my phone numbers. I will have one more email going out Monday about the class. So, all right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and close it. What time is it? Oh, looky there. We're almost at an hour. We're going to go ahead and close. And again, if you need to contact me about anything, or if you're interested, I will send you the information, and you just need to let me know for sure, okay? And like I said, I have 2 machines I can rent out. You just have to let me know if you want a machine or don't want a machine. And one is small and one is large. Okay? When I say small, it's like it holds the smaller one down from what the big one is. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, y'all. Well, this was fun. I hope you had a good time. I know that block was a little bit weird. The next one coming up is going to be not weird, just different. We're going to have fun. Don't worry. We always do. But that was one of the easier blocks. And I wanted to make sure I got some of the easy blocks out of the way so we can practice on those seam allowances, and iron out any kind of troubles we have with my instructions so that you guys understand what I'm doing and what to say, what not to say, what works, what doesn't work, that kind of thing. So hopefully with these first 3 blocks, we've kind of gotten through, the forest, and now we can kind of start camping out here. All right. We'll be back on next Sunday from 4 o'clock until 5. And again, I'll try to come on right about 3:45 so that we can kind of work on, any information you might have or something you might need to know, or make sure all the stuff is working properly. I like getting that done. Oh, Miss Sally, I like different. Miss Sally says she likes different. I like different too. I do too, and that's why I think I've enjoyed these so much, because I can put my own spin on it. But it also means so can you. So once we're done and you've got all your patterns, you can put your spin on it however you want to, use whatever fabrics you want to, and I can't wait to see what you guys have done with it. Your colors have been amazing. I am absolutely loving it. Remember to send me pictures of your blocks when you're done. I'll post them to my website, because apparently, because I made it a page, you can't do that, but I can. So make sure you send them to me, whether it's through Messenger, my text messages, Messenger, Facebook, whatever. However you can get me your blocks, get them to me. Just make sure I can copy them. I did have one that sent them to me on Google Pictures, and I had a hard time trying to pull those things up. I wound up having to post them at 2 different pictures one picture at a time, because I couldn't get them to go together. I couldn't post them both at the same time. So Google Photos is not one that I'm very good at. So I recommend not sending them that way. All right. We're going to go ahead and close in prayer, because it is actually 5 o'clock right now. And I just want to thank y'all again for coming. We'll see you next Sunday. I love y'all very much. And here we go. Father, I just thank you so much for the ability to reach out to so many people and to be able to have a good time and talk and learn and have fun. And I just thank you for this opportunity. Father, I just ask you to please send a healing touch to all those people right now that are in need of it, Father, including myself. I've been battling this for a while, Father, and I know that you are the author and the finisher of our faith and the healer. And I just call on that healing right now to heal the people that are so desperately in need of healing, and to send that right through their body, from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. Just let that healing warmth flow, Father. We just trust you. We love you. We give you all the honor and glory. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Listen, y'all have a wonderful rest of Sunday. Enjoy it, because tomorrow starts Monday. It means we get to start this all over again. Yes, another week to give it another try. And again, you should get your emails by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for the next block, so you can cut it out early and have it ready. And I will be spending the week testing the block to make sure everything is A-okay. And we're going to have fun next Sunday. All right, see you next Sunday at 4. Y'all have a great week. Mwah. Love ya.